Hi, Virgo rising sign. Here is your weekly forecast starting on the 14th of May until the 19th of May. So your chart ruler is very active this week. It's making a triple conjunction, then it shifts into Gemini, makes a conjunction to Uranus. So we are expecting a lot of aha moments regarding your professional trajectory. But firstly, welcome back to my channel. If you are a first timer, I would appreciate if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. I can still see that 60% of my viewers are not part of my family. So that would be so lovely to see you. But now we've got a triple conjunction happening in your ninth house between Mercury, Ceres, the Sun, and Atlantis joins the clubs as well. The ninth house is the house of beliefs, travel, and higher learning. So, but as the week progresses, your ruler moves into Gemini, which is your 10th house. So you are moving from what do I believe to what am I building for myself? What am I building for the world? Now, with that triple conjunction, you might be finalizing a major project involving publishing, international travels, even legal matters as well. But Atlantis is giving a bit of a warning sign here. It is telling you that you need to be checking your intellectual hubris. So it's about you auditing your sources. So if you are a teacher, for example, if you are publishing something, double check the facts. Atlantis warns of leaks in your credibility. Or check the infrastructure of your trip, so such as passports, visas, or even set up of tech connections. Allow yourself a bit more time, let's say between two flights. And also, maybe this is about you wanting to invest, Taurus, into kind of like a master class. Now, speaking about master class, I'm going to be having a relocation master class series coming up, where I'm going to be teaching you 6 techniques to be able to decide where to live. So this could be an exciting opportunity to enhance your knowledge. Relocation is not just about planetary lines. There is a lot more to it. That's why I'm going to be teaching you minimum 6 techniques. But on top of that, I'm going to be teaching you some timing techniques as well, so you can really figure out when to move. But going back to this relocation part of your chart, this is also about you having to be watching out for certain type of regulations. Let's say if you're dealing with international business or law, don't skip the red tape really. And don't also ignore your hunch about a teacher. So if someone seems to be unstable, trust your guts on that. And maybe don't overpromise either. Taurus is always about being grounded. So be grounded in what you know. Also, this could be making you very fixated about your opinions, which might be making the conversations Mercury a little bit harder as well. But because Mercury is ruling you, it feels like with that Sun and Mercury Cazimi, you're going to be gaining a lot of clarity about the type of nurturing that you need. And maybe that's the reason why you figure out that if I traveled, for example, then I would be doing certain type of healing. Now, Mars is also making a conjunction to Chiron this week. It's happening in your eighth house in the sign of Aries. The eighth house is the house of shared resources, taxes, and deep psychology. You can think of Mars and Chiron together as kind of like a raw nerve. So the raw nerve is sparked regarding money you owe or money shared with a partner or money that people owe to you. But it's about leaking money, addressing money leaks. So Mars always wants to cut something off. So I'm going to be cutting off certain type of debts or subscription that is draining my finances, my wallet. Maybe we have to be having the ugly conversation, the power struggle in your relationship, speaking the truth. It will hurt, but it also clears the air as well. And if you have got any type of tax or insurance issue, then this Mars Chiron conjunction might want you to kind of do a bit of a surgery on that so that you are preventing a long-term ache. Also, maybe if you are struggling with that or certain type of fears, tell someone you trust. Maybe it should be a professional. And watch out for anger management as well. The eighth house energy can be quite volatile. So breathe before you discuss any type of money matters, for example. And Mars Chiron suggests a bit of a painful debt. So this might not be a time to take a risky loan, mortgage. Avoid it a little bit. Now, Mercury moves into Gemini and then makes that conjunction to Uranus. So that's the peak of your chart. So that's a sudden radical pivot in your career or public status. Maybe if you have been waiting to suggest a radical change at work, you can be doing it now because this is kind of like giving you a genius idea. And your boss, your audience could be ready for any type of innovation. Maybe you are going to be reached out by a recruiter or a client, something that you didn't expect. So it might be a shocking offer. Or maybe you can rebrand your digital public face if you have one. But also we can update our profiles on these professional websites. Or you can update your website as well with a bit more modern, fresh kind of aesthetic. It might also indicate that your job description is kind of like shifting, so we shouldn't be clinging to the old one. Um, Basically, what it tells you is that being traditional is a bit of a liability today, and there might be some technical glitches happening. For example, at a professional meeting, maybe your presentation or your website fails. But think of it as in a possibility for you to show your adaptability. And maybe you are going to be receiving certain type of weird suggestion from a peer, which might be actually the next like move towards a promotion. Even Mercury is squaring the nodes in the first and the seventh house and makes a trine to Pluto as well. And Mars moves into Taurus too. So Mercury is squaring the nodes is a choice making between choosing myself or the partner. So you're realizing that your career goals are conflicting with how you have been micromanaging yourself or your identity. We can use that Pluto trine, for example, to kind of rebuild your power systematically. Maybe it's a radical change in your work habit. Maybe this is about you stop trying to be perfect and then you move towards being a bit more intuitive. And as Mars enters your ninth house, we are stopping to fight over debt or money, and then we are going to be building up a bit more of a philosophy. But also, this could indicate that I want my opinion to come across really strongly. So we might be putting on the boxing gloves. Don't get stuck in self-criticism with the South Node. You can be obsessing over your flows, for example. And then Mercury and Uranus would like you to kind of focus on what I can contribute and in a way, what I can become. Maybe this is about you micromanaging your employees, your routines. Maybe you are seeing the flows in the system. So that Mercury is about coming up with a new way, a new strategy. And also, Mercury makes sextile, sorry, yes, a sextile to Neptune as well. So Neptune somehow suggests your subconscious knows the path before your logic does. So this might be an invitation to trust a little bit your intuition as well. So, what it feels like this week is that you are automating your daily task. It tries to give you a bit more visionary time. It looks like you are prioritizing a career leap over your personal insecurities. Maybe you are ready to have a vulnerable conversation with a friend or a colleague, especially with Venus moving into your 11th house this week. Or you are ready to go after your long-term goals because Venus rules your finances, and you are ready to kind of build up a dream of yours. Um, just watch out for that self-doubt that might be stopping you from leading. And don't ignore your wild professional hunches because it is really backed right now by the chart ruler and Pluto trine as well. And maybe don't try to force a travel plan. Let that Taurus Mars build the itinerary slowly. Or make sure that you are a little bit more open-minded. We still have got quite a heavy Taurian part coming up. And, the ninth house is about the big questions, the big whys. And we just want to understand the meaning to life. So good luck, Taurus, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.